value of parent-teacher conference is I'm really taking in more information than I'm giving them. My goal is to really get to know their child, and the only way I'm going to get to really know their child and what makes them tick is to get insight from the parents. They can't always get a feel for what their child's actually doing in the classroom and what they're actually learning and how they're engaging with other children. So to take the photos, the video, and to actually show that back to a parent, the major underlying thing that you've done is you've developed a sense of trust.
You drop your kid off and you don't know what they're doing for 3 hours a day. You see little glimpses of the last 2 minutes or the first 2 or 3 minutes, and it's really nice to, things like this that you don't necessarily see, like the pictures and just chatting with the teacher, just one-on-one when there's not, 12 other kids in the class and 12 other parents trying to collect their children. And it's just good to have that one-on-one time and just kind of get a better feel for what's going on.
That collaboration and that connection and that comfort level with the parents is going to allow them to share more. That's only going to support the child's growth. Tell me 3 things about Finley. If you think of Finley, what do you think about?
She's sweet. She's helpful. She is strong-willed.
And Finley is strong-willed. Well, good. We'll probably touch on that a little bit.
And those probably change a lot based on, what's going on and kind of a day she's having.
And also, even if I ask that question from semester to semester or year to year with parents, it'll change.
Right, yeah.
It's how you see your child now that I think is helpful. And I would say that we would see those exact same things.
Yeah.
What would you like me to know about Finley? Something I wouldn't know in a classroom setting, like how she is with the neighborhood or how she is at home.
She really likes you probably do see this in the class. She really likes her peers. She likes kids. She likes to play with the neighbor kids, and she's very curious about all the kids, not just, what I would call her peers in the neighborhood, but, Riley, my older daughter's peers. And, even when the kids get off the bus, where is she going? What is she doing? Why is she carrying this? I mean, she's just curious about other kids and is really interested in them.
And like their stories.
Yeah.
Well, and that's really outside of her world. I mean, that's
right.
really like, usually they're so me-centered that's kind of a good thing for me to know. She seems so natural at social skills.
And it has happened quite quickly. And I think this one's changed her personality a lot. I think she grew up a lot when he was born. And she was no longer the baby in the center of the universe. And she had to learn to, I think it just kind of shifted her perspective to, okay, now I'm an older kid. Now I'm a big kid. I'm no longer the baby. And
that's a great insight. And she adapted pretty quickly.
Yeah, she did. And we haven't had any resentment issues or, she's a really good mommy.
She is. Finley is never ever by herself. She is always surrounded by kids. And so my observation is the social skills are great, even with some language difficulties. I think she makes her case known all the time.
Good.
And not only by her language, but by her lack of language.
Right.
The strong-willed piece comes through.
Yeah, sometimes that's a challenge, but I think that'll serve her well.
Oh, totally.
In life, it just, I'm not going to back down. So I'm actually glad that she does have that in her, that she's not like a shrieking violet, that she's just going to go into the corner and be sad about it.
Oh, absolutely. Besides when you're having these big meetings, what would your goals for Finley be, your personal goals? Like why you think it's important for her to be at Emerald Preschool?
I just want her to feel comfortable in social settings and know that she's accepted and loved and can do it.
I think that's what's impressed me the most is she has that can-do attitude. Yeah. Part of the mantra in the Emerald Preschool is I have a great attitude and I can do it.
Yeah.
And the other part of the Emerald kind of philosophy is that we will help you do anything, but things aren't done for her. So that huge strain of independence.
Right. No, this is right where she needs to be, and that's it. Just is the continuation. What I love is it's just the continuation of what we're teaching her at home. That you're not any different. Figure out how to do it. Get it done.
I am amazed at her capabilities for adaptation. And if you look at these pictures, she was doing a squeezing eyedropper, and then she moved everything off the tray. And in this classroom, you also clean up. And so she has a sponge. What are you doing?
What are you cleaning up?
Yep, and look how happy you are. And then here, she's working with a high school student. We have a teacher cadet from BHS who comes over, and she was showing her how to scoop these little noodles.
Yeah.
She has a balance between some teacher interaction, but also a lot of time working together with friends. She's always with a group of kids. Here are your buddies at circle time. She's always lovey and touchy and feely and touching them. The adaptation with her fine motor is just phenomenal. I mean, so these are all pictures of Finley. And you know what I thought? You could take these home for Riley and Daddy too. And you could talk about how you do this at school. Now, this is when we do skits and we do the word of the week, and they volunteer to come up and do skits.
Oh, yeah?
And participate.
Does she volunteer?
Yeah, this is her volunteering.
Really?
Yep, we were volunteering on persevering and staying with the job and like dumping the puzzle, and then we say, oh, it's so hard, but we're going to persevere. And Finley was helping us persevere, weren't you? So I just wanted you to know that one of the other skills about joining in a group time and participating, does it voluntarily without any prompting.
Yeah, because I think that confidence is going to be important for her too.
Right. I think that you might get a lot of language if you take these home and ask her to explain it to Dad and to Riley. Would you like to take these to your house and show your family?
You want to take these home to Bobo?
Are you going to show Grandma too? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
If you haven't seen us working on anything that you'd like us to work on, can you think of something?
No, I think that, I mean, that's the main thing that I think that you probably see more of that I don't see. It's just like that. I'm talking to you, don't talk to me. Just, her understanding that she still needs to be polite and she needs to answer when someone talks to her.
And that's not atypical for all 3-year-olds that come from a family where they're the baby and everything is focused on them. And so part of my job is to make that focus on a community and focus on if we have visitors, this is how we treat visitors.
Right.
And if we have specialists that come in, this is how we incorporate them. And then at the same time, I'm telling the specialists, you know what? She has so many specialists that we need to respect her space as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a two-way street.
It is. What you have to do, you gotta stand. Anything else?
No, I think she's doing really well. The biggest indicator for me is she's excited to come to school.
That's the most important feedback you could give me.
Yeah, and that's the biggest indicator for me is she's happy to be here and she wants to be here. So I think it's great.
Well, we have one more thing. Do you want to see a movie of you? Finley, would you like to see a movie of you?
I want to see a movie.
Okay. Wait till you see this. Who's that in the swing? You!
Who's pushing?
Dylan and Max, and this is Amber. Do you want to come up and see? Then she starts really laughing.
Thank you, your friends.
It's just a short one. Isn't that cute?
That is so cute. Is that fun?
Yeah.
You and your friends. That's so nice.
And so that was early on in the year, and I just thought, wow, look at how everybody's just working together. Oh, Finley, were you just laughing? I think that was the first time where she really just all out laughed, and we saw that other side of her.
Yeah.
And that's why I know that side exists, but I don't always see it.
Right. I've seen her come out of her shell just with other kids, just the interaction. Trusting other adults, just knowing that there's other people besides mom and dad that can take care of her and love her and who don't want to poke at her and take her blood pressure and look at her head and who can just play with her and teach her and love her. So that's nice.
You did such a good job. I am thrilled with her progress.
I am too.
Good.
I think that she's doing really well.
Huh? Do you want to go play with your friends now? You got to come to preschool early, didn't you? And Ollie got to come to preschool? Hey, how come Ollie can't stay at preschool? He's too what? He's too little. Who's this? Can you say hi? Were you looking for Finley?
Yeah.
They're buddies.
It doesn't matter, where you come from, what your you know, if you can speak perfectly, if you have a hard time with your language, if you speak English or if you don't speak English, if you, you know, might have some social issues, some social economic issues, I mean, there's just kids from every walk of life and with a lot of different problems, but it's left at the door and they don't care. They're friends and they love each other and it's great. Acceptance. That's it. One word. Just acceptance.